You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Everything's pretty fine over here, Sasha. Thanks for asking. I have a slight cold, but everything's okay. It's not coronavirus, by the way. Just in case anyone was wondering. Oh, man. It's already past 5. I was a little late because literally right when I was logging on, Discord likes to do this shit where it likes to install updates. And so as it's installing updates, it keeps saying update failed. And so I had to count down from like whatever, like 60 to 1. I'm like, ugh. So, because I remember I did this last time where I had to install updates and then it, failed to install the updates. So I just restarted the laptop and open it back up, and now it works. So I'm like maybe 2 minutes late as I can see. Oh man, yeah, I was gone last week. I just wasn't feeling up I just really wasn't feeling up to it last week. I was a little unprepared, so I just decided to take the week off. I missed a lot. I actually haven't missed a lot. The show has missed a lot in the past week. Let's see, we had Elimination Chamber, which, do we even need to talk about it? Let's see. Raw and SmackDown have been abysmal. I mean, SmackDown last week wasn't that bad. I think what made the show interesting was Triple H. Triple H on commentary, just not giving a fuck. I didn't even bother to watch Raw. I just saw the clips. I just went, not for me. No thanks. It's weird. It's like, how is it that AEW is able to make their show more interesting than Raw, and they both did the same thing? I did watch the AEW show about an hour before the show started. I have it DVR'd. Didn't bother watching NXT. I heard NXT wasn't even a show. I think it was just like a highlight show. Did that really happen, Sasha? Was NXT just really just a highlight show? Yeah, so why even bother? For a show like NXT, they can't really be doing that kind of shit. For a show like Raw, what's on? Did you? Why didn't I hear you pop in? What's going on? Did you? Do I even have the volume up on this thing? Got this out the trash at work. Impressive. You gonna start pumping iron? Yeah, I have a gym membership that I've hardly been using. And I was thinking about going, and then they decided to close all gyms. So that's what I get for procrastinating. Government shit it down. It shit it down, then it shut it down. It shut it down, then it shit it down. Yeah, the gym at my house. I that's where my membership is mainly subscribed to. It they sent me an email saying, "Hey, we're closed down." I was like, "Okay." Pretty much everywhere is closed now. All the movie theaters are closed. I've seen that guy before. I just never really watched his videos. I know of him. What's it called? I had a season pass to Alamo Drafthouse, and there's one by my house. And I literally just got the season pass, and I was like barely using it. And then all this shit happened. And then, luckily, they were nice enough to email me and say, "Hey, we're going to pause your account." What's going on, Sean? We're going to pause your account, while this shit's going on. So, they're not going to charge me while I'm not able to use my movie theater pass. So good for them. That's very white of them. Yeah, that is very white of them. San Antonio is not really that bad. I mean, I hear everyone... I hear, like, Julian and Rob, and I believe, like, Kevin, talking about how... he's from San Antonio. Actually, he was originally... Because, he grew up in an Air Force family. I think he was born in, I believe, Germany. And then he moved here to San Antonio. So this is pretty much some. Yeah, he's legit from San Antonio. He wasn't born in San Antonio. He was born German scum. He was born somewhere else because his dad was in the Air Force, so they moved around a lot. He pretty much lived in San Antonio as well. But yeah, San Antonio, I don't really think it's been that bad. It's weird because I just literally looked on an article saying that the cases of people with coronavirus, I think, have risen to 26. And then you had the mayor of San Antonio be like, "No, we're not going to do a lockdown. Everything's fine. Everything's fine." It's like that meme of that dog that's sitting in his kitchen and the whole kitchen's on fire. And he just has that look on his face. This is fine. Like that's pretty much the mayor of San Antonio. Werner Herzog. I'm trying to figure out who the hell that is. I'm looking on my laptop, so I can't really tell. Hold on, let me look through my phone. I have Discord on my phone. This is going to be a pretty chill show tonight. Let's see. He looks familiar. I think I have to really see. He looks like one of those actors. I think I need to see him in something else to really know who he is. But yeah, Santa's Jack Reacher. Yeah, that's the first one. I wasn't really too crazy about the first one. The second one I heard it was kind of meh. But the first one was okay, but it wasn't that great. San Antonio hasn't been that bad, but I really do think the mayor needs to consider doing a lockdown. Because I know San Francisco just did one. I believe Laredo just did one. San Antonio should really consider doing one. I mean, because it's 20, it's in the 20s. It's in the mid-20s. That's the last time I checked. Of people with coronavirus. It's like, dude. And I think we're, pretty much ground zero, because when all this corona shit was going on, the first person I heard about, having it was actually, it was in San Antonio, it was in Lackland Air Force Base. And then apparently somebody in our jail, because I work at a jail. I work at the jail for our county. Not in the jail, I work in the records department. But those, every now and then we'll have to work at the magistrating area, where they process the inmates in and they process them out. Suck with that rape, though. I don't know if that question is that's suited for Trez. She's the connoisseur of when it comes to rape. That's an inside joke between Kevin and Trez. She's big on rape scenes. She loves just breaking them down. I don't know. I don't work in a prison. I imagine that shit goes does go on in a prison, but yeah, I just heard about it happening. So yeah, the mayor really should consider doing a lockdown. It's really hard. It's really hard for a lot of people during this time, because you hear about a lot of people that are losing their jobs, like people working in the industry. Who else? People working in the bar industry. My girl's cousin, she was working at a bar, and now she really can't anymore because all the shit's going on. My job, however, which is technically they're still up. Good for them. Good for us. Man, that sucks to hear, did you? And it's weird. You would think that they would send people home, that even if they look like they're having them home. And I work in an office. I work in a small office, not small as in everyone's kind of cramped up together, but it's an office. It's not like a big ass office. It's an office, but. Yeah, man, it's tough times, and president, he's going to send us money, apparently. I'm not going to get political here, but during this time, you have a lot of entertainment. You look at what Wrestling Soup is doing. Wrestling Soup literally doing a podcast, literally doing an episode every single day during this crisis, this pandemic. Good for them. Those guys just... I'm not trying to blow Wrestling Soup for the next... I'm not trying to sound like I'm going to blow Wrestling Soup for the next 30 minutes. But they just know how to keep people entertained. You're doing these top 5 lists. They're doing an episode yesterday on top 5 action movies. No love for John Wick. Interesting. No John Wick. But I don't know, I was thinking about doing a top 5 list. I think I did put it on Twitter that, if you have any suggestions for me to talk about, just put some suggestions up there and I'll try to do a top 5 of anything. Or I don't know. But it definitely sounds more interesting than wrestling right now. Wrestling is just not in... It's just not in a good state. You got these arena lists, SmackDowns and Raw. You know what? I never was into the Matrix movies. I'm gonna come out and be frank about this. I was not a big fan of Matrix. The first I remember watching. The other 2 I never watched. And, from what I hear, 2 and 3 are garbage. Everyone I know pretty much does the same thing. The first one is a classic. 2 and 3 are just hot garbage. I'm not... I've never seen 2 and 3, so I'm not trying to sit up here and say that I know what they're about. The first one I just wasn't too big on. Probably because, as a kid, my tastes in movies were a lot different than they are now. For example, I watched 1917 last night in its entirety. I didn't get bored. I didn't put down my phone. I actually paid attention. And, granted, it's a really good movie. It's a movie like that I probably wouldn't have liked when I was, 11 or 10. But yeah, 1917. I'm just switching around. You guys already know who I am. OCD, or not OCD, ADHD. I just switch around topics. 1917. Watched it. Good movie. It's. I had said when the movie, literally 5 or 10 minutes into the movie, I felt like I was playing a video game because the camera work is. the entire movie is in one shot. Literally the whole movie is in one shot from beginning to end. And that's so fascinating. How, like, that's a ballsy move for any director to just do one shot and not do quick takes or big explosions or whatnot. Like, it's just in one take. It's like you're playing a video game, and I love it. The main characters are these unknown actors, and every now and then in the film you have these bigger name actors that'll just appear for like maybe 3 minutes, and then they'll go away, and they'll allow the main actors to just do their thing to tell their story. You had Colin Firth in the beginning of the movie, and then he went away, and then later on was Mark Strong, and then he went away, and then Benedict Cumberbatch appears at the end for like 3 or 4 minutes. Then he goes away, and then Richard Madden comes out for a bit, and then he goes away. It's a really good movie. I suggest it to pretty much anyone. If you're a fan of war movies, you might like it. Dragula. Dragula, not 1917. But if you're a fan of new metal from the 2000s, Dragula might be your thing. Yeah, Matrix. And then after I watched 1917, I watched Jojo Rabbit. So both great movies. But yeah, Matrix just wasn't my thing. I never really got into it. So what can we talk about? WrestleMania. Gonna spit the zombie. Take care, did you? I guess we can talk about WrestleMania. They announced that WrestleMania moving it out of Tampa, out of that venue, and it was going to be in front of the Performance Center, which was already a bad idea. And then they announced a couple nights ago that WrestleMania was going to be a two-parter in front of the Performance Center with former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, who's signed with the WWE. He will be the host. So WrestleMania will be a two-parter, which wasn't that already a thing? Was it a two-parter in the 80s? No, actually, not a two-parter. I think it was like filmed in two different locations on the same night. Like one was in LA, one was in Chicago, I believe. This is in the 80s. But this is a bad idea. They seriously need to consider moving the date. Having WrestleMania in front of nobody is going to be bad. It is going to be B-A-D bad. Because I put out the scenario of, can you imagine Brock Lesnar having to put Drew McIntyre in front of nobody in the audience? Can you imagine Paul Heyman, trying to get the crowd hyped up and make us give a shit about Brock versus Drew? Like, it's almost kind of a slap in the face to Drew because, he's been working his ass off. He's been working on his craft for a while. He's been working on trying to perfect his look, try to get over with the crowd. And, recently he has. But, and this is out of his control. I'm not trying to, say fuck coronavirus, which, fuck coronavirus, by the way. Fuck any disease. But it's going to be tough for him. And Vince really needs to consider moving the date. And the rumor, I don't know if they're still doing it, because, supposedly Vince doesn't like these empty arena crowds or empty arena shows. He is supposedly, I don't know if he's still doing it or if this was just a thing at the time, move the show to Madison Square Garden in June. Like, fuck it, have a Mania back in the Garden. Like old times. They haven't had a Mania there since 2004. Like, I don't get, I don't see how Vince is going to think this is a good idea. Like, we are already past the point of Vince is completely out of touch and there's something wrong with Vince if he thinks this is a good idea. I listened to Wrestle in Court, and I think it was either Julian that said Vince was looking to have Tampa cancel the show for him, so that way he can get his deposit back. Because if he had just canceled on his own, he would have lost a lot of money. So that's why he's looking for Tampa to do it. And I don't know why Tampa didn't just do it. But, or maybe it has something to do with the fact that they might have heard, through the grapevine that they were thinking of moving the venue to another area on another date. So maybe they're like, well, if we can't get WrestleMania, nobody else can. So we're not canceling the shows and moving somewhere else. So, I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm just putting out, scenarios. But 2 nights, starting on Saturday and Sunday. There's not going to be a Hall of Fame. There's not going to be NXT TakeOver. I'm pretty sure that'll be announced pretty soon. Which is crazy because Batista was going to be in the Hall of Fame. No, he's not. I mean, he pretty much still is. I don't know. Maybe they'll announce something before the show. But I don't know. I doubt they're going to have him at the actual show because I doubt Batista would want to be inducted in front of an empty crowd. I'm pretty sure Hogan would not want to be inducted in front of an empty crowd. It's a bad idea. It's a very, very bad idea. And you got someone like Edge, who hasn't wrestled a match in 9 years, and now he's, going to be in a high-profile match with Randy Orton, and it's going to be in front of nobody. Which I saw the interaction between him and Roman Reigns, which I thought was kind of funny. I didn't really understand. I didn't really get it, because I don't know if this is leading up to something or not, because Roman put something like the big dog is going to be back at Mania, and then Edge called him the little pup and said the big wolf is back, which I'm just like, ugh, please don't make that a shirt. Like, for the love of God, don't make that a shirt. And then Sasha Banks chimes in, why I don't know, and calls herself the Panther. I don't know if she called herself the Black Panther or the Big Panther or the Silent Panther. And said, well, we're going to main event the pre-show. Shut the fuck up. Just, Sasha, shut the fuck up for, seriously. Nobody wants to hear you talk anymore. Oh, man. Wrestling is just bad. AEW is not bad. AEW show was not bad. It's weird. It said, how is it that AEW was able to work with an empty arena better than WWE? I'm not going to go through the whole show. I'm not going to go through every single match, but they had the wrestlers in the stands pretending to be the audience, which I thought was kind of funny. They had Sammy Guevara sing Jericho's theme, which I thought was pretty funny. I don't like Sammy Guevara in the ring. I do acknowledge that he fits being a heel to a T. He knows how to just get under people's skin. He knows how to rattle them. He has that face that you just want to punch. That's the first thing I noticed about him when I first started watching AEW, was that he has the face of somebody you just want to punch. You want to see him get the ever-living shit kicked out of him. What else? Brody Lee debut as the Exalted One, which we'll see how that goes. He cuts a promo, kind of taking a shot at Vince McMahon, where he's talking to Christopher Daniels, but he's kind of making a subtle shot at Vince, saying, you're not the first out-of-touch old man to doubt me. So, I mean, it's good to see. Well, I got to get used to calling him Brody now. We call him Luke for so long. It's good to see him getting work. It's good to see him getting a top position in the company. Regardless of how anyone feels about this Dark Order gimmick, him now being, I guess, the leader? So would he be the leader of the Dark Order? Because he's the Exalted One, but they made him out to be like he's the leader. Because I think it was supposed to be. I think it's Uno who's the leader. I don't know what Brody is supposed to be, but he looks like he's going to be carrying that fuck, what's the name? Faction. There you go. Oh, he looks good, by the way. So let's see Brody getting work. Vignette for another new guy in AEW, Lance Archer, with Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts still teasing an interaction with Cody and Lance Archer. Lance Archer, if anyone didn't know, Lance Hoyt in TNA. I believe, memory serves me correctly, he was in a faction with Christy Hemme and somebody else, and they were supposed to be some of, I guess, some rock and roll like roadies type of group. Like, am I getting that wrong, or am I kind of fairly accurate? Jimmy Rave, yeah, the other guy, Jimmy Rave. I think they were like her roadies because Christy Hemme can, like, I think still puts out music, or I know she put out music and did CDs and performed in front of like bars or whatever. And they're supposed to be her roadies. And I think he's also the cousin of Shawn Michaels. I remember that being a thing. But yeah, they show a vignette where Archer shows up to some kind of like indie backyard fed where he's, saying do or die, everybody here. He's a piece of shit out of everybody. And as he's walking away, you just hear some guy going, I could take you, asshole, and then he just chokeslams him on the car and just walks away. So I don't know what to think of Lance Archer. I mean, good look. He looks intimidating. But we'll find that out in the ring. He's obviously going to be working with Cody pretty soon. I'm assuming it's at the next pay-per-view event, which is Double or Nothing. Yeah, it's Double or Nothing, right? It's going to be in May. Which is like their well, not their Mania. All In's their Mania. Double or Nothing's like, I guess, their second big pay-per-view. And what else happened? Yeah, Best Friends versus Lucha Bros. Lucha Bros won, and then next week they're going to have a parking lot brawl with the Best Friends and the Lucha Bros. So I don't know if they're going to have an empty arena next week. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. The main event was a 6-man tag with the Inner Circle, who have a new theme, which is the single most generic fucking thing I've ever heard in a while. It's literally just a guy going, the Inner Circle. Like, it's like, seriously, Jericho, you're in a band. You couldn't have made him a fucking theme. Like, come on. So it was the Inner Circle, minus Jericho and Guevara. Jericho's on commentary, which I thought was hilarious. He made a comment about Arn Anderson, with his Waffle House menu. And first at Hangman Adam Page as was it Wash Hands Adam Page, or he called him something. I just started laughing. I thought it was so funny. He was basically on commentary just making guys laugh. He was making Taz laugh. He was making Tony Schiavone laugh. And just taking shots at Excalibur. And then against the Elite, minus Nick Jackson. Oh my god, who's at home, healing from his attack last week. And then Kenny Omega, who's not clear to wrestle until over the weekend. So now you just got Matt Jackson, you got Hangman and Page. And you have... I'm missing somebody. Cody, there you go. And then the Inner Circle won the match. They just come out and talk a little shit. All of a sudden, you see Van Dam flying throughout the arena. Jericho takes off his glasses, almost as if to kind of say, oh shit, I know who that is. And then Matt Jackson gets on the microphone and says, we have a fourth guy. It's an old friend of mine who owes me a favor. And then it goes, and then the camera points to Matt Hardy at the, I guess on the nosebleed seats, or on the, I think it was on the rafters. Who's broken, Matt? It's clear that he's going to be broken, man. So Matt Hardy will be the fifth guy for Blood and Guts next week, which is like, I'm assuming like their own version of War Games. What's up, Maurice Bear? And I mean the show was not that bad. AEW was actually very good tonight. NXT, from what I think it was Corbin who told me, was just a clip show, which a show like NXT should not be doing a clip show. That's something that Raw and SmackDown should be doing. They should not have been doing those empty arena shows. They should have had, they literally own all this fucking shit in the library. Like they should have had, Paul Heyman come out and do like an ECW thing. Being like, since there's nobody in the audience, this coronavirus is extreme. Like, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have said that. That would have been funny. That would have been funny if Paul Heyman compares coronavirus to ECW. I'm not saying coronavirus is funny. I'm saying it'd be funny if you tried to compare it to that. But or I don't know. They own all this shit. They own WCW. Especially same thing on Monday. Monday was 316 Day. Why not have Stone Cold come out and show his greatest moments? It's a 3-hour show. Like have them be like, we're talking about the one time I stunned Vince. What? The one time I sprayed The Rock with all that beer from that beer truck. What? I shouldn't be doing that. I mean, come on. Like have freaking have Byron or somebody interview him, one of those talking heads, and just go through the greatest moments of Stone Cold Steve Austin's life on 316 Day. Like that would have made the. I mean, I don't know if it would have gave him big ratings, maybe I don't know, but it would have. It could have been something. It would have been better than having Austin come out and cut a promo trying to make it sound interesting. I mean, he acknowledged that there is nobody in the audience where he's so, give me a hell yeah. And it just points to the chairs, the empty chairs. And then Byron Saxton just goes, hell yeah! Which are just cringe. Same thing with SmackDown. Again, I said SmackDown wasn't that bad. Triple H on commentary made it interesting. I just like whenever he's holding the camera, he goes, we're short-handed tonight, Cole. But Triple H on commentary, I could dig. Like he seems like he just does not give two fucks. But yeah, they really should not have these empty arena shows, especially on Raw and SmackDown. NXT should really not be doing these clip shows. It does not benefit them. This is the time they can be using to build up their guys. I think it was Corbin that just shared it. You had Ciampa and Gargano, promote their feud. And again, if you don't want them to wrestle, that's fine. Do these recorded vignettes. Like have Morrow come out and promote the show. Have Morrow come out and promote Mania. Have more scripted vignettes with Gargano and Ciampa. Have Charlotte come out and I don't know, wherever. Have her record a promo talking shit about Rhea Ripley. I mean, it's easy. Oh, you got. Again, how is it that AEW did it better than WWE? I just don't get it. Mania is going to be terrible. Speaking of terrible, I guess we can talk about Elimination Chamber. I mean, the Bryan and Gulak match was good. After that, it just kind of fell off its handles. The tag match Elimination Chamber was okay. It looked like for a second the Usos are going to win. I guess it's going to be a Mania match. Those versus Miz and Morrison. Or maybe that's going to be... or maybe it's going to be like a big schmoz. Like a big gauntlet match, because they love their gauntlet matches. Is it me, or does the crowd... Is the crowd not that invested in Miz and Morrison? Like, I don't know. I mean, because they know who Miz is, obviously. I guess it's because Morrison has been gone for almost a decade. And in this decade, we've had newer fans. And the people know who the Miz is. Not everyone knows who Morrison is. I mean, we know who Morrison is because we watched the product for, decades. But then you have that majority audience who does not know who Miz is. I mean, Morrison is. So they're not that familiar with them. I mean, it's a good idea to keep them with the Miz for a while, so that way, eventually, when they do break up, because they love to break up tag teams, the crowd is invested in Morrison. So, I mean, he I don't know if he's going to be a star. I don't know if they're going to give him a title run. One thing that has always really been a big detriment to Morrison is the fact that he cannot promo to save his life. Like, the guy is amazing to watch in the ring. He looks cool. But him on the mic, he has a personality of a dead dog. And that's not, I mean, granted, everybody else in the personality of a dead dog when they're talking on the mic. But we're just talking about Morrison here for a bit. The main event, the women, first time there was ever a squash match in Elimination Chamber. This pay-per-view did not need to happen. I mean, I'm under the belief of WWE needs to get rid of a lot of these pay-per-views. They only need to stick with their big four. Maybe Extreme Rules, under the guidance of make every fucking match extreme. Don't just make 4 matches extreme. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need Hell in a Cell. Nobody cares about that anymore. That pay-per-view sucks now. They all look to fuck up the ending. We don't need TLC anymore. We don't need Elimination Chamber anymore. We don't need Backlash. We don't need what the fuck else was I going to say? Night of Champions. We don't need these pay-per-views anymore. Matter of fact, get rid of... I've been saying it ad nauseum. Get rid of gimmick pay-per-views. These gimmick pay-per-views are watering down the gimmicks. Elimination Chamber used to mean something. It used to be like, oh shit, they're going to fight in Elimination Chamber? Oh crap, they're going to get the crap beat out of them. TLC was more of an Edge's thing, and it was kind of a tag team thing too. But it meant something. Hell in a Cell meant because it was the culmination of the big feud. Now they just put anybody in a Hell in a Cell match. And it doesn't mean anything. So. But I was going to say, between Rumble and Mania, there should not be any pay-per-views. Especially these like Super Showdown Saudi shows. Nobody cares about these shows. I get who they're for, but nobody fucking cares. Nobody's watching them. Like, they make them for the Saudi audience because they want to see the big names of yesteryear. But you're wasting money because nobody's fucking watching them. Nobody cares anymore. And I haven't really heard any news lately about this, but if they're still thinking about making these pay-per-views $60, do you honestly think people are going to be paying money to watch Super Showdown or Crown Jewel? No one's going to pay money for that shit. Not one person. Not one sane person I know. So, this pay-per-view sucked. Did not need to happen. You saw what the main event was going to be, and you already knew what the outcome was going to be. You already had Shayna come out and beat the shit out of Becky. And it was just obvious who was going to face Becky. Why even have the match? I mean, I get it. You want to make her look dominant. But the crowd seemed like they were really shitting on the segment. Because there was that cool spot with Shayna and Liv Morgan, where she's just swinging Liv Morgan between, I think, the cage door and the actual like chamber. Which, props to Liv Morgan. She likes to take a beating, even though when you look at her, she knows she doesn't need to. Liv Morgan's not here to do these. I just saw Big E's video where he was, saying, you want your 30-minute classics, you want your 5-star matches, you can have them. Big meaty men slapping me. Oh god, I love Biggie. That's basically Liv Morgan. She's not here to do 30-minute matches or 5-star matches. She's here to just be hot. She's here to look good in a pair of leather, and her ass looks good in a pair of leather. I mean, granted, I'll give her this. She tries. She wants to go out there and try better. I mean, that's a lot to say about her than Alexa Bliss, who Alexa seems like she does not even want to get better or even attempt to get better. Liv Morgan looks like she wants to get better. And she tries to get shit over. But, again, we've always said, everybody tries. Are we going to award people that try, or are we going to award people that do? So, Shayna just comes in and just beats the shit out of everybody, taps them out. And then we're awaiting that big, that matchup, between Asuka and Shayna. And that turns into a squash match. The crowd was turning on that segment, by the way. So, which, again, get rid of these gimmick pay-per-views. Like, this was your way of building Shayna up. Like, if you wanted to have her go out there and squash bitches, it could have been on a Raw. Like, have it be a gauntlet match to determine the number one contender for Becky. And have just Shayna go out there and squash bitches left and right, regardless of who comes in. Like, have her be the first one in, and then the next one in is Liv, and then she makes Liv tap out. Next one in is Sarah Logan. She makes Sarah tap out. The next one after that is Ruby. She makes Ruby tap out. And then you get where I'm going. Comes on to her and Asuka, and, Shayna's already tired. Asuka takes advantage of it. They go back and forth for 10, 12 minutes, let's say. And then Sasha, barely gets, that submission move she has, which I'm forgetting what it's called. Makes Asuka tap, wins the match, goes to Mania. Now you have a month and a half, 2 months to build up to Mania. Same thing with the other matches. Like, do tournaments. What happened to tournaments? Why don't they do tournaments anymore? Like, I love tournaments. Everybody loves tournaments. Do you guys love tournaments? I love tournaments. Like, they did this 14 years ago. Have a Gold Rush tournament to see who's going to face the champ. Have random guys come in to set up these feuds. Goldberg and Roman Reigns does not need to be for a title. If you want to have that at Mania, fine. I don't care. But it did not need to be for a title, especially at the expense of the Fiend, which supposedly it was not the influence of WWE. It was actually the influence of Saudi Arabia. They wanted Goldberg. So. But you've already killed that character, by the way, the Fiend. That character doesn't mean shit anymore. There's really nothing you can do to salvage that character. Because to the casual fan, you've made everyone believe this old guy can come in and just be this younger guy who's supposed to be this top talent who's here every week. You're supposed to make me believe that he's better than him. Why am I supposed to care about Bray Wyatt anymore? Why are any of us supposed to care about Bray Wyatt anymore? The Elimination Chamber was not good. I think that's been the consensus across the board. It was not a very good pay-per-view. It was hot garbage. It was hot garbage, like we all would say. It was an unnecessary pay-per-view. I think my girlfriend's watching Beetlejuice. I hear Beetlejuice in the living room. I don't know why I recognize it. What else can we talk about? I don't know. really know what else we can talk about. Again, it's been a very slow news week. The past month has been very slow. So, I guess for the next 5 minutes, we're just going to kill time. Anybody got any questions? Anyone that's in the chat room got any questions? I am open to suggestions. You can ask me anything. I will just sit here for the next 5 minutes while I am looking at the screen for questions. So, fire away. Come on. Fire away, Corbin, Maurice, and Sean. Any and all questions. I'm listening. I'm in another window. That's fine. Any questions? Nothing is off limits. What matches would you do on the first and second night of WrestleMania? What matches are available? Let me look at the card so far. WrestleMania 30. I'm really uncomfortable. I'm trying to move my legs around so I can be comfortable. I have the match card right here, buddy. Let's see. So there's 7 matches so far. I already know what my main events would be. The main event for Saturday, I would probably put Edge versus Orton. Yeah, Edge versus Orton seems like the only match that has a story that looks interesting. Every other match just doesn't look very good. It looks ill prepared. I'd probably put Edge versus Orton on Saturday. On Sunday, I would put McIntyre and Brock. The other matches for Saturday, I would probably put maybe 4 matches per night. And I don't know. There needs to be more matches announced. But again, those are events. It would be Brock and Drew on Sunday, and it would be Edge versus Orton on Saturday. So. I don't want Goldberg and Roman being the main event. Matter of fact, I would just make Goldberg and Roman like the first match of the night. Because we already know how long it's going to last. And poor Roman. It's poor Roman. Roman has to carry Goldberg. Jesus. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, I said before, the only enjoyment in that match is going to be if Rhea wins. Because the crowd does not seem like they're that... Before, the arena-less crowds, or the audience-less crowds, the crowd did not seem like they were that invested in Rhea. So, but Charlotte does not need to win this match. If she does, it'll just make Rhea look like a piece of shit. Rhea needs to win a lot more. Versus The Fiend. They're trying to capture on their match that they had 6 years ago. Which, again, The Fiend needs a win. Cena really doesn't need this win. I can't imagine, Cena coming and be like, I want to win. I mean, is it me, or does Cena seem like he does not want to be at Mania this year? Like, am I the only one that sees that? He seems like he does not want to be at Mania. I mean, because he came in and did his promo and saying, there's a lot of younger guys here that deserve this spot more than me. So I'm just going to walk away. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out. If that's an actual thing. Like Cena didn't really want to be at Mania this year. So, but I mean, yeah, the Fiend should win. Undertaker versus AJ, I have no interest in. I have zero interest in because it's gonna be a contradiction on both their styles because AJ needs to work a more methodical, fast-paced match, but it's not going to work for a guy like Taker. Even if this were Taker from like 15 years ago, it still wouldn't have worked. But Taker needs to work that slow-paced match, and it's not going to work for a guy like AJ. So you got two guys who are two very different styles, and it's just not going to work. I mean, I did like the promo from AJ a couple weeks ago, where he puts it on TV that Taker and Michelle McCool are married, and he says he wants to kill the Undertaker and bury him, and he's calling Michelle McCool. He kind of alludes to Michelle McCool being a gold digger. It was an interesting promo. So I imagine they wouldn't need Taker's permission for that, because up until then, you never heard on TV that Michelle McCool and Taker were married. But this match is not going to be very good. Kevin Owens versus Seth. It sounds good on paper. Wasn't there supposed to be a stipulation? I seem to remember Seth Rollins was going to pick the stipulation, but then they just made it into a singles match. We're at the point where we just don't care about anything that Seth Rollins does anymore. I mean, again, this should be a good match on paper, but I mean, the crowd's always going to pop for Kevin, and they're going to boo the shit out of Seth. But Seth, at this point, he doesn't generate heel heat. He has go-away heat. The crowd does not seem like they are interested in anything he does. So, what other match did I miss? You had Brock versus Drew. Who Drew McIntyre needs to win that match, or it's pretty much going to mean shit for his push. But Drew McIntyre winning his first WWE Championship in front of nobody. Literally nobody. Like, that's a slap in the face to him. And for a guy like Brock, I can't imagine Brock wanting to put anyone over in front of nobody. He's like, you're going to have to pay me a lot more money than you guys already pay me. It's like, I want $500,000 for each suplex I do. And of course, yeah, Edge and Orton, which is the only match that seems interesting because there's a story behind it. Because you have these two guys that actually know each other, they're actually friends. Heel Orton makes sense. He really does commit to this heel role. And you got Edge, who's, cutting probably the best promos I've seen him cut in a while. And he has, the best facial looks in wrestling. Him coming out with the wild eyes and calling out Randy, it works. Him taking that beating from Randy, a while back, it works. Edge gets it. So regardless of what you want to say about him, he gets it. But yeah, those are the Mania matches. Not very good matches. So, any other questions? Anything non-wrestling related you want to ask me? Movie related, TV related. I am open to suggestions. Do you think things change if a wrestler tests for corona? Good question, Sean. I think they should. It just all comes down to how Vince feels, because we've all been saying. Now, I don't speak for everybody. I'm not saying I do, but pretty much everyone's been speaking ad nauseum that they should have just canceled the show to a different venue. I can't really imagine how Vince is going to react to somebody having corona. I mean, because this is the same guy that continued a pay-per-view when somebody died during the pay-per-view. So, I don't know. Because here's one thing I was talking to about my girlfriend. Because WWE is a publicly traded company, right? It is. It's been publicly traded since 2001, I believe. Don't they have a board of directors? Like, don't they have people that can, take a vote and tell Vince, no, this is a bad idea, don't do it? Like, can't they technically, like let go of Vince and put Triple H in charge? Like, again, maybe I watch too much TV or too many movies, but isn't that something that can happen? So, like, say a wrestler tests for corona, and Vince almost has to cancel the show. Like, it doesn't fucking matter if it's Mania, bro. You need to cancel the fucking show. You'll get your money back, whenever you put it on a different venue. If Vince doesn't even cancel, if he doesn't cancel the second he hears about it, he's going to be in big shit. And for the WWE, they do not want any bad press. I would imagine that he would have a board of directors tell Vince, you need to cancel the show. Matter of fact, cancel all live tapings, all house shows. Just put WWE in the back burner. Like just like I suggested earlier, have a Monday Night Raw just be a clip show. Have, Cole or whomever come out and say, on this, like, kind of take something from Don Tony. Like, do this. Have a this day in wrestling history. Like have different events in WWF history, WCW, ECW, NWA, AWA. Like, just have it be a clip show. Have it be a this day in wrestling history show. Until all this shit gets salvaged. I know WWE likes to think of themselves as, we're here to put smiles on faces. We're here to save the world. we made all y'all forget about 9/11. Now we're going to make you forget about the coronavirus. What's coronavirus? Damn it. Too bad, pal. I know that was like a really long-winded answer, Sean. But that's really my answer. Because it's one of those things where, logically speaking, it should change. But this is Vince McMahon we're talking about. The guy can't let go of his ego for like one goddamn second. So, what time is it? I got time for a couple more questions. Let's keep this going. Any other questions? I am ready. I'm just going to sit here and tap my laptop. Any questions? We're almost an hour, people. Any other questions? None whatsoever. I'm just going to sit here and just continue to make random noises. The show's going off the rails. Actually, let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to ask Sean's question to everybody, and this includes Sean. Do you think things would change if a wrestler tests for corona? I know Maurice just commented on it. He said that would really change in both AEW and NXT. If any one of them gets it, then it would be trouble. What do you think, Corbin? What do you think, Corbin and Sean? What do you think about that? Vince is pretty stubborn. The only way for the WWE to get better is if Vince is not in charge. Like, this is going to sound really kind of fucked up to say. Vince is obviously not going to let go of the company. So Vince needs to die. I'm not saying have a sniper take him out. But the best way for the WWE to really evolve and grow is to have better leadership, have Triple H run the company. And it seems like a consensus with everybody is that Triple H will get the company. Once Vince is out, Triple H will be in charge of the company, and it seems like it'll be better. Because Triple H doesn't seem stubborn. He knows how to make good business decisions. I also think Triple H just doesn't kiss anyone's ass. Let me kind of backtrack on that statement. He did marry the boss's daughter. I mean, I truly think those two do like each other, and they do love each other, and they have a good relationship. I don't know. There's when I say kisses someone's ass, I mean Vince's whole thing is what's best for business. Even if he had, heat with somebody in the past, he'll still hire him if it means, bringing in more viewers, more money. Sometimes that can be a bad thing. Triple H seems like somebody that just goes, smile you later. Like, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he would try, but he wouldn't, completely kiss someone's ass to bring him back. Say what you want about Triple H. He's someone that needs to run the company already. Like, he is ready. Keep Stephanie the fuck away from the company. Have her stay at home. Take care of Triple H's weirdly named kids. Was it Charlie? I think one of his kids' name is Charlie. Keep Shane on board. Shane seems like he has good ideas. But yeah, I'm just going to close the show out. The only way for the company to really succeed is just for Vince to not be in charge. And again, he's not going to give up the company, so he needs to die. Or the board of directors just vote him off. So, I'm not that cruel. Sometimes. But that's really the show. That's the whole show, guys. Thank you to everyone who did show up. Corbin, Maurice, and Sean. Wrestling Soup starts at 6:30 Central. They have a new start time. They're early. They're a lot earlier now because Mr. Mish moved to Philly, to West Philadelphia, born and raised. Well, he's not really from West Philadelphia, but so listen to them. John, send your well wishes to John Draper. He's going through a rough time right now. So I hit him up, talk to him for a bit. But yeah, listen to Wrestling Soup. Make sure to go to their Patreon. Their Patreon. For just $5, you get all kinds of cool shit like Global Bonding with John Draper. And also for this whole month, literally, I believe Mish said for 30 days. For 30 days, and they're already on day 3. They're going to be doing pretty much a podcast every day. It's going to be in the afternoon, so awesome. It's got the Don and Tony Kevin Castle show. Go to their Patreon for just $5. Kevin Castle has a show with our good friend Trez. Shout out to Trez, who have been trying to get her back on the show. You got Wrestling Court with Julian and Rob. You got my good friend Peter. He has 2 podcasts. He has Bops and Bangers, which is a music podcast. He also brought back the Peter position. So I love that name, by the way. I can't help it. I can't help but snicker. It's a good name. Arc Attack Podcast. I don't know if they're doing podcasts anymore. I haven't seen anything recent from them with Derek and Irving. So just check them out. By the way, they have they really go into in-depth detail on like nerd culture. And you got the Trademark Podcast. He had to make a new Twitter, unfortunately. Some dipshit decided to tell on him for something he apparently did, which he probably didn't do. So, yeah. And then, who else we got? Ruben Prime. Check out his podcast. You got Texas Podcast Massacre, Horror Podcast. If you love horror movies, I think sometimes they do TV shows, and I don't know if they do video games, but they just talk about horror in general. If you love bad horror movies, you love good horror movies, old and new. These guys cover them and make it entertaining as fuck. I've been on 3 times, waiting for that message to be on again. Kevin Castle's about to be on for a 4th time, so whoop-de-doo for him. And that's pretty much it. If I forgot to shout anyone out, I'm sorry, but listen to everyone's podcast. Listen to all my friends. Listen to everybody else. If you have a podcast, listen to them. Especially during these times. These are tough times. You can go to my Spreaker, subscribe, and just listen to the hours and hundreds of episodes I've had up there. And also everybody else. Not just mine, everybody else. But go to my YouTube channel. It's the same name, Drew Yari Show. I'll stream video games on there. Currently playing Uncharted 2, and I finished the first one. So if you're a fan of Uncharted, you can watch me play and watch me swear and just get pissed off during the game, which I always do. So I'm trying to finish all 4 games before Last of Us 2, because I just finished Last of Us. So I don't know if there are any Last of Us fans in here. But Last of Us 2, I'm very much looking forward to. It looks so fucking good. But gotta cook, balance, see for soup. Take care, Sean. Thank you for contributing tonight. And yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Drew Yari Show. I'll be back next week, and I'll try to do more extra shows. I haven't done one since I had Ruben on, but anyways, guys, take care. God bless. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys for soup. Laters.